So, I mean, firstly, how the Casablanca beat came about, it's actually a producer called Ramon. He's a really lit producer, and it's one of those beats I wanted to make something really cool, and I'm like, you know what, I write my music, so let me find a beat that can allow me to just spit something, then I make another beat. I found that beat, I absolutely loved it, then I co-produced it, you know, so I added my own flavor to it. And why did I choose the city Casablanca? Because Casablanca has given me the gift of progressive creation. The first time I came into Morocco, I came into Casablanca first, and the noise at first you can't understand it, but after a while of listening to the noise, you learn to go above the noise, and here there's so much inspiration. So for me, Casablanca has been a way for me to pay homage to the city that inspired me in Morocco.
Casablanca, one tonight, yeah, she taking a top off.
So growing up, I think I feel there's a time I was in Hamid, Jebel Saro, and I stood in front of Jebel Kisan, the mountain, and I felt this feeling of belonging, particularly to Morocco, because I feel in Africa we've all been segregated to feel you're from there, we're from there, but we're all from Africa. So in being within a kingdom, in being in Morocco, it's allowed me to explore fashion. And why I came here was for fashion. And because I wanted to find a place that was a melting pot for Africa. You know, you come to Casablanca, you see every type of person that's in Africa, but this hasn't been portrayed enough in art, music, or fashion.
Casablanca, yeah. Just get lost with me tonight. Me know you feeling the salsa.
And I feel and this is what a lot of people say when you're growing up. They say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do one thing first and do, you know. But for me, we're all together. You know, there are many me's. There's a me, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm an amazing writer. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm an amazing fashion designer. So I understand who woke up in the morning and what he wants to do, and we all create together. And in the end, like you saw during the last press conference, is all my universe of art, of creation, of fashion, because we're all one, and we move together. We don't separate the industries. I don't separate the industries. It's just a form of expression. Even for my fashion, it started with me needing to express myself, because I'd go into a store, it could be any store, Zara, whatever, and I see someone buy a piece and then someone else buys it again. And, you know, fashion should be a fingerprint. You know, people should wear what they feel like inside, not what they're told to wear, because there's no choice. You go inside, you buy it, you know. So for me, it started with my fashion. The fashion was a way I could express to people visually what I feel like inside. And through this, I could write music so they could hear what it is I do sound like inside. And from this, create art so they understand where my mind is in terms of the realms of fantasy.
I said it's only you, that's down the ride.
It's the vision, because in society, why it's so hard for us to do well is every time we try to run fast, there's someone who's pulling us back from running as fast as we can. So every time we ask people for advice or we ask people for opinion, they don't tell us what we can do. They tell us what they can't do. So for me, I focus on my universe. It's to know that my vision is true. And to know that every time I ask people for advice, they're immediately going to tell me what they can't do, not what I can do. And it's to know that I am here for a purpose. And many people are scared because they're not able to go beyond the fear. And I'm going to tell you something that's very interesting about life and how we move. This is society. And here there's a big light. So everyone is fine staying in the light. But where you want to be is here. And there's another light here. This is your light. But to walk from here to there, it's very dark here. And every time you walk, society will tell you, no, you can't, come back, no, you can't. And you get scared, it's dark. You say, no, let me go back to the light where it's safer, and you go back to them. But those who keep walking through the darkness, through who they are, through their individuality, it will be so hard. But when you do get to where it is you want to be, they're all going to look at you and say, wow, how did you do? You see, because the vision we have, we wake up, if we see it, we need to do it. Despite what anyone is saying, despite what anyone thinks, we see it, we do it. I have a different way of seeing a lot of things, you know. For example, if I can share, right now we're in this room, but I would never confine myself to just being in a room, so I don't see the white wall or the gray or the table. For us, we're in the ocean, there's wind, there's seagulls, you know, because my imagination allows me to do this, and because I'm in my imagination, you feel an interesting emotion when I speak. So this is the project for Morocco, to see, for example, Casablanca, with this first music video, to see it how I see it, how when I walk out on the street, for me, cars are never on the ground, they're always in the air. I see fantasy everywhere, you know, and I dress myself the same way. So the point is to go around Morocco and revisit every city from a fantasy point of view, because Morocco is a fantasy. One blue city, one pink city, one white city, but there hasn't been a project, an artistic project that has exposed this in its entirety. So we're going to travel to all the cities for my album, which is called The Train to Marrakesh, to Chefchaouen, to Essaouira, to El Jadida, Marrakesh, and we're going to shoot one video in each place for one song. So it's going to be basically a visual album that showcases not only music, but the fantasy of Morocco as a whole.